What's up, YouTube? It's Mike with the Guns, and today is a very special day. It took me 12 months to finally get approved, but I got my Form 4 approval for my SBR, and right here, we've got a Maxim Defense PDX chambered in 5.56. I waited a long time for this gun, and I'm happy that I finally have it. Some of you guys that watch, you know I pretty much already have this gun. Same thing, but made by Springfield. I have a St. Edge PDW. That one is a pistol though. Same thing, but it has the pistol brace. I wanted the SBR so I could do some things to it. Now I just got back, just got approved, just picked this thing up. I wanted to do a video before I add any accessories to it. First thing I noticed when I picked this thing up and opened it though, took it out of the box, this is heavier than the Saint. Noticeably heavier. And I thought, I don't actually know if it's much heavier. I didn't even look at the specs. I probably should have done that before I started the video, but you guys could do that with a quick search. But to me, as a shooter, as a collector, whatever I am these days, this gun felt heavier. And I thought that I immediately was going to like this one better than the Saint because it was like the original and the Saint was kind of like the copy. But because this one is heavier, I can tell you, as of right now, I like the Saint better. But this gun is special, and there's some things that I want to do to it. So I did had to wait 12 months for the approval. Some people only have to wait 10 months. Some people have to wait 13 months. So I was pretty much in the average. Excited that it finally got done. Now, some of the differences here, really, the only difference here between this and the pistol version that they make is this brace back here. So this is not a pistol brace. It's not one of those workarounds. This is a solid fixed brace. I was going to say fixed stock, but it's not a fixed stock. But it doesn't have that Velcro strap that you have for the pistol SBRs. So because of that, I had to go through the whole approval process with the Form 4 and wait a long time. Now, the main thing that I'm interested in doing with this one that I couldn't do with the pistol is I can add a vertical grip right here. And that's going to be the first thing I do this week is add a vertical grip. Now, since I already do have this gun, like a 5.56 AR pistol, the Saint PDW, I wanted to do something a little different with the optics. Now, since the Saint is a pistol, I have a red dot on that one. Since this technically is a rifle, it's an SBR, short barrel rifle, I was going to go a little bit different. Instead of putting a regular red dot, I ordered a Prism Scope for this, which I already have it. I'm going to be putting it on this sometime this week. So I'm going to have the vertical grip right here, and I'm going to have a Prism Scope. It's a 3X Prism Scope. So it doesn't have intense magnification, but it's better than a standard red dot because it does have the magnification, so I can get those long range shots in. As ridiculous as that sounds with a 5.5-inch barrel, I'm going to try doing some long range shots, at least 100 yards with the Prism Scope. That's what I'm going to have it sighted in for. So just because I have the same gun pretty much, the Saint PDW, I don't have any regrets on buying this. Obviously, I waited 12 months for it. I thought about it before ordering it and before beginning the process. But I'm going to do something a little bit different with it that I couldn't do with the pistol. So I'm happy to have both. So I have the Saint PDW sighted in at 15 yards. I'm going to put the Prism Scope on here, sight that in at 100 yards. And it's got a permanent reticle in there and everything too. So even if the batteries are dead, the Prism Scope will still be good. And this will be my long-range short barrel AR. So thanks for watching, guys. I just wanted to show you a quick video to let you know, the people that have been watching or have seen some of my videos when I mentioned that I ordered it and I was waiting on it. I wanted to let you know I got it. It's here. I like it. I definitely like it. I don't know if I'm going to like it more than the Saint, but I do like it. It's a nice gun. I should have put the camera on a tripod, but I'm just holding it right now so I could just do a quick video. I knew I wasn't going to talk about much because I'm really excited about adding the accessories to this most of all. So I just wanted to do like an introduction. Like I said, let you guys know that I did get it. I will be working on it, and hopefully you'll see me shooting it soon. Now, something I got to mention with the SBR a lot of people are reluctant to get these. Some people mention the cost. The cost wasn't really an issue, and I'm not even saying that to be a dick. I mean, it's a $200 tax stamp. That's not going to stop you from getting a gun if you really want it. To me, the biggest hassle is going to be with this gun is I have to drive around with the Form 4 tax stamp approval wherever I bring the gun. And not only that, but this goes by rifle rules. So I have to have this in the trunk, whereas the pistol version, same gun, but pistol version, you can have in the car. You could have in your pocket if you could fit it, if your pockets are big enough, technically. This SBR version, the short barrel rifle, since it is technically a rifle, I will have to have this in the trunk. But furthermore, I will have to have my ATF tag stamp with me, or I can be in a lot of shit, apparently. So first thing I did before I even got home, I went and I made some color copies. They have to be color copies, by the way, of the tax stamp. It was a 3-page document that I got back and front also. So I had to copy all 3 of the pages back and front for each one. Had to be in color. Something I wanted to ask you guys, if you can, if you know, if you can say in the comments, say whatever you want in the comments, as long as it's cool. But I read somewhere that the tax stamp you can have copied, you can have shrunk down to make it easier to carry around. I had the original size printed out, but I read somewhere that you could have it shrunk down to like 25% size, something like that. I don't know if that's true, but that would be a lot more convenient to drive around with a smaller one. So if anybody knows anything about that size requirement, if I can drive around with a shrunken down version, it would be a lot easier to have 3 mini pages instead of 3 8.5 by 11 pages folded up wherever I go with this thing. So that's going to be the biggest pain in the ass with this gun, honestly, having the paperwork with it at all times. So it's probably going to be home pretty much all the time. All my guns are. But this is one that I would not want to drive around with as a car gun, truck gun, whatever. I have a car. I don't have a truck. Some guys like to have truck guns, though. This is not one I would want to keep in the car. Simply because you have to have the paperwork with you at all times, and that's just fucking pain in the ass. So keep that in mind. If you are getting an SBR, you will have to have your papers with you after you get approved 12 months later. Man, I'm excited to use this thing. It's got the Maxim Defense hate brake on there to direct the energy towards the front, just like my Saint does. It's got all the same stuff, not all the same stuff, a few different things. It's got that Reptilia grip here. You've got the Maxim Defense. It would be the brace on the pistol, but this is the SBR stock, which is integrated with the bolt carrier group. This is a shrunken down bolt carrier group, which is why it has a smaller buffer tube. That's how they get these things so small. It extends out to, I usually like to extend it out like 2 or 3 notches. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3 notches out. Everybody's different depending on your height, whatever. What else do I notice? A lot of the weight difference is probably coming from this handguard. It's a lot bigger than the Saint Edge handguard is, and it also has the Picatinny rail going the full length, whereas the Saint doesn't have the rail starting from like around here. There's no rail, and then the rail picks up at the end here. So there's a lot less metal on the Saint. This is a lot bulkier. That does add to the weight, I'm sure, but like I mentioned before, I'm going to have a vertical grip on here that's going to help support the weight, and I'm going to have this as my long-range mini AR. Have that Prism Scope on there. It's going to look good, this thing. Something about the handguard, though. Last time I was shooting my Saint, it doesn't matter, I'm just mentioning some details that I noticed. Last time I was shooting my Saint, I only shot off like 80 rounds. It wasn't that fast either. I wasn't like rapid fire. You can't do rapid fire at the indoor range that I went to. But I only did like 80 rounds. And the handguard on the Saint started getting really hot to the point where you couldn't really touch it. And it wasn't a problem because I hold the Saint right here when I'm shooting it. But it makes sense why the Maxim has a wider handguard, why they left more space, because I bet you that stays cooler better than the Saint does in the front end. And that could be important because the vertical grip that I'm planning on adding, which I already have, that's actually metal, because any of the polymer ones that I saw, I just didn't like them as much as the metal one that I found. So I got the metal one, and if this handguard was going to heat up too much, you know that vertical grip is going to heat up a lot too. So it's good that this particular one that I'm going to add the medical vertical grip, it's good that it has a little bit of extra space. But just take note of those differences if you're looking at the two guns. I know they stopped making the Saint, but you'll see it around on Gun Broker. You know, you'll see the guns forever. Just keep that in mind if you're choosing between them or another gun. If any other gun, if you notice a difference in handguard size, just keep that in mind, that the smaller handguards, they can get hot even if they're free float. And I noticed that just after 80 rounds last time on the Saint. So sometimes it could be beneficial to have the bulkier one, depending on what you're doing with it, like that vertical grip. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to get some accessories on this thing this week, and I'll show you guys how it looks. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to my channel. You know I'll keep the videos coming, and I'll try to get this thing to the range sometime soon, but I got to get the accessories on it first. That's got to happen. Thanks again for watching, guys. See you soon.